Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to tell you a crazy story of something that happened while I was living out in California working for my wife's father's company. All right, so I was actually on bail as well during this time from New Jersey and out there with the permission of the New Jersey judge who was handling my case. So I worked for a corporation that purchased 17 different Gold's Gyms locations from Orange County down to San Diego in California. I worked in the one in Fullerton, which is where I chose to live, but I was also working in different ones at different times as well, including San Diego. There was another one in Escondido, and in this particular one, the town was called Rancho Santa Margarita. That's where this happened, at the Gold's Gym there. So it was actually during the grand opening of the gym. It was a big event. There were a lot of people there, and they had a huge bounce house that they rented for the kids, along with some other stuff like face painting and little games and stuff. So I'm outside, right? I just happened to be outside. For whatever reason, I stepped out, and the bounce house is like 50 feet away from me. I'm not really paying any mind to it. And all of a sudden, this fucking thing collapsed on the kids. It lost power somehow. It was completely inflated and enclosed on the top as well. And it just fell and collapsed right on top of the children. And there were other people out there, even though most of the people were inside the gym at the time, and nobody did anything. I couldn't believe it. No one. People just started screaming. So I ran over there, and I almost could not even get inside the bounce house because the entryway, the door, was completely collapsed. And the weight, because this thing was so large, was very heavy for me to, get myself in there. But I crawled in, and one by one, I started pulling these kids out and just putting them outside the bounce house. And at that time, there had already gathered a bunch of other people who were just waiting for me to pull these kids out one by one and then taking them, and luckily nobody was hurt. None of these kids were hurt, but they were traumatized, and I could understand completely. They were screaming like crazy and crying and hysterical because for that short period of time, just imagine you're just playing in there and all of a sudden this thing collapses on you. It's a very heavy thing, and they're in complete darkness, don't know what's happening, can't move because of the weight of this thing. And especially for the kids who were far in the corner that I got to last, they were really shaken up because it took me a while to pull all these kids out. It had to have been at least 12 to 15 kids that were in there that I pulled out of that bounce house that day. So I just happen to remember this story, and I know a lot of you guys enjoy just hearing random things that happened to me, so I thought I'd share it with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.